Pastor Luis Torres, and I want to just talk to you just a little bit about something that I spoke with the congregation just the other day about the cause. There are so many causes in the world today. People have a cause to stop drug abuse. People have a cause to stop alcoholism. People have a cause that they don't want to see abortions take place. And in the Bible, you find the story of a young man by the name of David in 1 Samuel 17:30. David's brothers were coming up against the Philistine. The Philistine giant had declared that he was going to wipe out the people of Israel. And so all the older men were out there to fight the Philistine. They let David back in camp, feeding the sheep, taking care of the sheep, and tending to the sheep. And when David heard that the giant was threatening not only the people of Israel, but the Israeli army, and no one was standing up, David went out to the war, went out to the battlefield, and he brought some lunch for his brothers. And when his brothers saw him coming, they said, "What are you doing here, David? You're supposed to be tending the sheep." And David looked at his brothers. He said, "Why are you letting this Philistine intimidate you?" He said, "Will nobody stand up to him?" And we know how the story went. David said, "I'll go fight the Philistine." And one of the things that we see in the Bible that is very interesting, that is very powerful, is the fact that they asked David, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "Is there not a cause? Is there not a cause?" And the Bible said that David went and he totally defeated the Philistine. With a slingshot and a stone, he defeated the Philistine and totally removed him out of the picture. And today, there is a cause why God has put the church here. God has put us here at First Assembly of God in Sand Springs to have a cause. There are people out there dying. There are people with life-controlling problems. There are people with alcohol abuse. There are marriages that are falling apart. There is a cause for us to be a light in this city. There is a cause for us to be the ones that hold the bloodstained banner of Jesus Christ and let that marriage that's falling apart, let that marriage know that God is still the hope, that God can put you back together. Mom, that God can deliver your drug-addicted son, your drug-addicted daughter, that God can bring the prodigals back home. You know, David Wilkerson, the man that I was saved under his ministry, he left his home in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, when his wife was expecting their first child. And he went to New York City. He had a cause. He saw an article about some boys that had beat up a crippled boy, and they were going to stand trial. He went to New York City. As a result of the cause that David Wilkerson had, the program called Teen Challenge was started. And all over the world today, people's lives are dramatically changed because David Wilkerson went from Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania to New York City and started a program that now can boast a 68% success rate of getting people off of drugs and alcohol. Today, the church has got to wake up. We can no longer tolerate what's going on in the world. Now, with a cause, we find in the Bible that Samson had a cause and he won many battles. But yet, whenever you fight a battle, then the enemy tries to bring a weakness in there. And of course, Samson's weakness was Delilah. Unfortunately, in our country today, we have too many Christians, we have too many people, and yes, even preachers that have their head on the lap of Delilah. We need to wake up and shake ourselves and say we will not lay our head on the lap of the Delilahs of this world. There was a cause that Saul had, and because Saul had a cause in the Old Testament, the Bible said he conquered the kingdom. I mean, he conquered the kingdom, but yet he could not conquer his jealousy concerning David, young David, the young shepherd boy that became the king of Israel. You see, we could be strong in some areas, but then we could be having some challenges in other areas. But we have to have a cause. For God so loved the world, the Bible said that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Let me give you one more. With the cause, David, as I said, conquered Goliath. And then with the cause, the Bible said Elijah prayed, the Bible said, prayed down the fire of God. He prayed the fire of God down from heaven. But yet, Elijah ran from Jezebel. Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, we cannot run from this battle. We cannot run from the battle. The souls are out there waiting to see what the church has to offer. We have a cause. God, wherever your church is, wherever you have been called to, God has sent us here to Fifth and Grant to be a light in a darkened city, to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ to the 4 points of the compass of this city, to tell people that God can take nobodies and make somebodies out of nobodies. And those nobodies can become somebodies, and they can go tell everybody about somebody who can change anybody. What is your cause? Our cause here at First Assembly of God is to bring hope, to bring help, to bring healing to those of you that are broken and have nowhere to go. I'm Pastor Luis Torres at First Assembly of God in Sand Springs, and I invite you to come and be in one of our services because we have a cause while we are here today. God bless you.